In another world, Victor Von Doom listened to Reed Richards when he told him that some of his calculations for an experiment were off. They marched off together, nerding out as they left poor Ben standing all alone. 5 years later, Reed and Victor had become very good friends, and they, along with Sue and Johnny, were preparing to travel to the moon on a highly advanced rocket they had created together. Reed and Sue went to check on the rocket systems, and while they were doing so, Sue asked why they were launching today. Reed told her that Victor had chosen the date. Sue said that it surely was no accident he had chosen that date, which happened to be the same date Ben's army unit ran security for a government experiment to create a new alternative energy source. Reed said that he hadn't seen Ben in years and wondered what Sue was talking about. She said Victor was always trying to overshadow Ben, and that's certainly what he was up to once again. Reed apologized for spending so much time with Victor and not enough with her, but he said Ben would have wanted them to go to outer space. Sue said, "No, Reed. Ben would have wanted to go with you." After Sue walked away from Reed, Victor came up behind her and professed his love for her, telling her that Reed had nothing he could give her, and he could offer her wealth, power, and prestige. Sue said she loved Reed and that Victor was a bad influence, but that after the trip they would no longer need him and his money. So together as a team, they boarded the rocket and set off for the moon. As they entered space, their ship went through cosmic rays. Reed assured them that they would be protected by their shielding. However, unbeknownst to Reed, he had made a miscalculation, one that Victor had known about. Victor donned his own personal protective suit to protect him from the harmful rays, but he had planned on letting his friends die, claiming he had already used Reed for all of his helpful ideas. The rocket crashed into the Earth, but no one was killed. However, they were all changed by the cosmic rays. They all now had incredible abilities. Victor's suit had concentrated the rays and become trapped on his body until eventually the suit exploded off as he transformed into the Thing. Victor blamed Reed for what had happened to him, and despite Reed offering to help him find a cure, he grabbed Reed and flew away with the heinous intentions of using the Gamma experiment that Ben was a part of to kill Reed. At the military test site, the radars picked up an incoming bogey, headed straight for the reactor. After it touched down, they saw that it was a man that was out there. Without a second thought, Ben rushed out to save whoever was trapped by the reactor. Dr. Banner and General Ross were unable to shut off the reactor, so they told Ben to get out of there. That's when Ben figured out that it was Reed who was stuck by the reactor, so he grabbed him and headed for cover. The reactor exploded and Ben was hit by the gamma radiation. Dr. Doom came back to finish off Reed, but Ben transformed into the Incredible Hulk and was able to defeat Doom. However, Ben then lost control and began fighting Reed, Sue, and Johnny until Reed apologized to him for abandoning him all those years ago. Reed told Ben that he was still his friend. Ben transformed back into his human form, and the Fantastic Four was born.